For about the last 2 weeks, Joe Biden has been telling another Joe Biden story, and that is that back in 1977, while traveling in South Africa to go visit the imprisoned Nelson Mandela, Biden says that he and the UN ambassador at the time were arrested while they were trying to go visit Nelson Mandela all the way back in 1977. Now that's a hell of a story, right? I mean, that is the kind of thing that if it actually had happened to somebody, they would probably talk about it a lot, especially if they've spent the last 43 years in politics, including 3 presidential runs. You would think at some point this story would have come up, right? But it didn't until 2 weeks ago. And he has now told this story in the last 2 weeks, multiple different times. Now, here's the problem with this. News agencies all over the country, including New York Times, Washington Post, and all the other big ones, decided, okay, well, wow, yeah, this is a big thing. He was a congressperson at the time. This would have been in the news if he had been arrested or even detained in South Africa while trying to visit Nelson Mandela. So they went through all their archives, went through the archives of other newspapers, and not a single mention of it. Not one. So then they decided, okay, well, he said he was with the UN ambassador. That guy's still alive. Let's go ask him. And the UN ambassador, who, by the way, happens to be a Bloomberg supporter, Andrew Young, said, that didn't ever happen. Sorry, but no. In fact, I was the UN ambassador. I was, well versed on who was being arrested, what American citizens were being arrested all over the world. And I can actually tell you that none were arrested in South Africa. No member of Congress was arrested in South Africa during that time. Sorry, Joe, this simply isn't true. So by all possible accounts, including the man who Biden claimed was there by his side in that cell, this story is a complete lie. It is an absolute fabrication from Joe Biden. So here's the question. We obviously know why he is telling this lie, right? He is telling this lie because he is plummeting with his African American support, which at one point was his stronghold. That was the thing that was going to propel him into the White House, and it's crumbling, leaving Biden and going over to Bernie Sanders. And with South Carolina coming up on Saturday, he's screwed if he doesn't get it. I mean, polls show right now it is now a neck and neck race in South Carolina, what was once a Biden stronghold. And Biden said that his path to victory absolutely runs through South Carolina with a very strong win. If he doesn't get a strong win, if he pulls it off by 1 or 2 points, or if he loses, that's about it for Joe. He at that point has shown that he cannot carry a state with a demographic that was once strongly his. That support has eroded almost to the point of being completely deteriorated. Joe would be effectively finished if he doesn't win this coming Saturday. And the way things are going, doesn't look like he's going to. But that's why he's telling this lie. That's why he's out there trying to connect with African Americans by lying to their faces and saying, listen, I tried to visit Nelson Mandela. I was with the UN ambassador. I was one of the only people going over there to visit with him. And I got arrested just because I wanted to see this great fighter of freedom, the fighter of apartheid. And it's not true. None of it. Not a single word of it. This is absolutely the lowest, most disgusting and despicable form of pandering that we have seen absolutely during this entire campaign. And it's coming from Joe Biden. And he's doing it because he's desperate, and he's doing it because he has nothing else to lose at this point. He has already lost all the support that he can afford to lose. So if this maybe ticks him up 1 or 2 more points with the voters, he's still in it. But if they find out, like the rest of us have, that he's absolutely lying to them, then this is absolutely the last gasp of breath of Joe Biden's 3rd presidential campaign. One of today's video sponsors is NewsVoice. NewsVoice is a news aggregate that pulls stories from all major news sites, as well as international and independent media, in a personalized news feed. And each news story shows multiple different sources, which are all clearly tagged with their bias and perspective. And News Voice is completely ad-free. They do not depend on any corporate sponsors. And that's why your financial support is so important. You can click the link below this video and head over to the News Voice Kickstarter. They're raising money to hire more investigative journalists and more news readers so that this election cycle, 2020, we can finally cut through all the fake news and know what's really happening. News Voice has a lot of projects that they want to get off the ground before the election takes place, but they need your help in order to do that. So once again, follow the link below in the description of this video and help out News Voice in any way you can. After all, News Voice is shaped by its readers. You can upvote stories that you find interesting, you can add stories, you can add missing links that you think give people a better understanding of the story. For the first time ever, there's a completely open and democratized platform for news that is completely free from any corporate influence. So once again, the link in the description of this video, head over to News Voice Kickstarters and let's fix the news together.